Most of the Bitcoin liquidity is clearly stacking up at the top side. Looking at the liquidation map, we can see that there is a lot of short liquidity stacking up, but not a lot of long liquidity. But markets do tend to move to the places where the most liquidity is laying. And in this case, that is most definitely the upside for Bitcoin. So that is what we need to discuss within today's update videos. Which large liquidation clusters are we currently looking at, and much more. Like all of the most important Bitcoin charts, price data, I will give a big update on the latest news hitting the markets here and some upcoming events. Big updates on my trading positions here for both Bitcoin and Ethereum, and of course I will give an outlook on Ethereum itself. So from there guys, make sure to first of all subscribe to the channel and watch and like my latest YouTube videos, and then we can dive into the most important content. Since clearly most of the liquidity is stacking up at the top side for Bitcoin, we have large liquidation clusters above us, and most of the liquidity is indeed short liquidity now. So a lot of traders are betting short on Bitcoin, but usually the market do tends to move to the places where most of the liquidity is laying, the max pain scenario. And I think this is still going to happen once again. The only question is going to be which liquidation cluster is going to be our next big resistance and a potential Bitcoin top. At the 112k level and 111k-ish level, we have a major liquidity cluster stacking up now, and at the 116 to 170k. Looking at the Bitcoin charts, those are the following levels. This is the 160-170k level. We do know that it's a big and very big resistance level for Bitcoin. Every single time we break above that level, we see new all-time highs. Every single time we break below it, we see a big drawdown, and that's also exactly what happened for Bitcoin in this major move down. The 110k level is looking a little bit different. That's going to be this exact level, which would basically be the reclaim of this major range, which is also going to be a scenario. But I think for Bitcoin it's likely that indeed this liquidity cluster is going to get grabbed, and from there we have to see if Bitcoin is going to have the strength to move towards this major level. Because if we could be breaking that cluster, I think then for Bitcoin new all-time highs could be in play. I think it's still possible, but of course we need to see that at the exact moment itself, if Bitcoin will have the strength to break through those levels and grab the liquidity. But I think looking at the liquidation map that it is going to be inevitable that we are going to be taking out some topside liquidity and that we are going to be causing some pain for the current short sellers. So that is what I'm currently seeing for the Bitcoin charts. Also still a lot of smart money is accumulating in Bitcoin. We have the Bitfinex longs indicator still moving higher here, and we do know that once the Bitfinex longs indicator is moving higher, we tend to see a bottoming phase in the market, a low in the market, because that is where the whales start accumulating, and once they start building off their positions, that is usually the phase where you do see the biggest moves for Bitcoin back to the upside. So I don't think this time is going to be much different. I think the smart money is once again betting on a major Bitcoin move, and it could still happen here in the ending stage of the cycle. Also, big whale orders are now coming in once again for Bitcoin. After we've seen a lot of small and normal orders, now big whale orders. So smart money is getting interested in Bitcoin again and is buying Bitcoin again, just like we can see on the Bitfinex long indicator. So a lot of important stuff happening there. We are still in extreme fear for the markets, and I personally think that that is going to be an amazing moment to accumulate both on spot or open positions if you believe that Bitcoin and crypto could still make one final move to the top side, and I personally think that is possible. So that is why I also opened some trading positions, which I will discuss later in this update video. First of all, I do want to discuss the most important news, like for example that Politico just announced that a deal to reopen the US government is getting very close. So a potential ending of the US government shutdown seems to be getting closer. The traders and the market is still betting on an end of the US government shutdown in about mid-November. So it is going to be interesting. We have some interesting weeks ahead of us. How is this going to impact the market? I think of course the ending of a shutdown is going to be bullish for both the stock market and the crypto market. Also, Trump said that he has a backup plan if the Supreme Court is going to block his tariffs. Of course, we have the Supreme Court case going on about if the Trump tariffs are illegal or not. And Trump is saying if the tariffs are declared illegal, I have some backup plans. And I've been talking about this for a longer time. I think he's just going to reimpose the tariffs. And Bitcoin is now falling back ever so slightly under the 50 weekly moving average. And of course now it's Friday, so this weekend and Sunday, the weekly close, is going to be very important, because I think 2 or 3 consecutive weekly closers under the 50 weekly moving average, that is going to be in confirmation of a bear market, just like we saw in 2021. As long as that is not going to happen, I will stay cautiously bullish on Bitcoin and the crypto market here. But those weekly closes we have upcoming are going to be super important. And also what I'm seeing on Polymarket is that the chances that the Federal Reserve is going to cut rates with 25 basis points, the chances of that are now increasing once again, up about 10% overnight. So that is quite interesting to see. And I think another rate cut is in the end going to be bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. So let's see about exactly that. And now I do want to give a big update on my Bitcoin trading position, because I'm still in this Bitcoin trading position, now in a slight loss on my 103k entry and in a profit on my 100k entry. I still have my limit orders open at 98 and the 93k, and this is something I have been explaining in the other update videos. In the update video from yesterday, for example, this is my this is my area of interest for Bitcoin. I will be accumulating and opening more longs in that area, because I think that is another potential bouncing zone if Bitcoin is going to drop ever so slightly lower. I don't think this has to happen, but of course it could happen. Then I think from there Bitcoin needs to see a bounce back towards that level we have been talking about in the beginning stage of the video. From there we are going to make a decision, or we are indeed going to move lower and confirm this as somewhat of a dead cat bounce, or Bitcoin could be moving higher and making new all-time highs. I do think both are still possible, but the longer it's going to take, the lower the chances are, in my personal opinion, that Bitcoin is going to make new all-time highs. But we have to see about exactly that, and of course I will keep you guys up to date on my trading position here on the channel. Where I'm updating even faster on this position, if you're getting interested in that, is the VIP Telegram group, because here I have my own channel and I'm updating about my trade much more often and much quicker than I can be doing so on YouTube and both X. So if you do want those updates, make sure to come over to the description of this update video and join the VIP Telegram group here if you're getting interested in that. Not only me is sharing info here, but also Crypto Rover and 5 professional other traders. So make sure to come and check it out. And from there, I do want to dive into Ethereum and my Ethereum trading position. So that's looking good. And I think as Bitcoin is also going to close, for example, above the 50 weekly, this could be a potential bouncing zone for Ethereum. Zooming in on the Ethereum versus Bitcoin pair, we have of course a major resistance level. And I think once Ethereum versus Bitcoin is going to break this exact downtrend, that is going to be the moment where altcoins will also be flipping bullish again. But for this, I think we need to see another Bitcoin wave before then Ethereum getting started and then altcoins once again. Otherwise, I don't think it is going to work in this scenario, but this is indeed the most important resistance level and the most important downtrend for the Ethereum versus Bitcoin pair. I do still believe in a higher Ethereum bull case here for the cycle of the 6.3 and 5k target. Between those levels, I think Ethereum is going to top out if we are going to reach those levels this cycle. And that's what I'm betting on with my new Ethereum trading position. If you do want to know everything about this position, also make sure to check out the other videos, because I had another position, but I had to close my account. Now I have a new account and there I'm in this Ethereum position. Very small position now, but I still have some limit orders open. So pause the video if you do want to see the exact limit orders. This is where I'm accumulating. I'm not entering my full trading position in one go. I'm waiting patiently to enter at different levels, so I also spread my risk a little bit in this case for my Ethereum trade. If you do want to join me with my Ethereum trade or trade a lot of other different altcoins, make sure to come over to LBank to do so. Because now, with the link in the description on this update video, you can claim some amazing bonuses on LBank, like for example 50% deposit bonus and a generous refund on your first trading position. The maximum deposit bonus is 2.5k and the generous refund is up to 5k, but it's all going to depend on your position size. On top of this, you can also be claiming a $100 bonus, so make sure to come and check this out. I do think this is the best campaign we have seen so far with LBank, but on the other hand, of course, in no way financial advice. you should do your own research and you should know for yourself if you do want to trade on LBank. But me personally, I'm doing so with this Ethereum trading position. And guys, that was also it for today's update video. I hope you guys enjoyed this update video. If you want more updates much quicker, make sure to come over to the VIP group. Make sure to check the links out in the description on the update video. And I hope then you guys enjoyed it. If you did so, make sure to subscribe to the channel, watch and like my latest YouTube videos, and then I will see you guys with my next update video tomorrow.